All right, blessings, everyone. Okay, what you're seeing is, well, I can't really see, can you? Here we go. Now, here is, again, Jonathan Clark's Vampire Sunglasses marketing video. Now, there's a reason why I'm back here, okay? And it just astounded me because I couldn't figure it out. Like, again, this is how spirit moves. All right, now, I know that I'm not going to be able to complete this because, again, there's going to be questions that you're going to have. I'm not very good at research, but I am bringing it to you the best way I know how, and that may be in bits and pieces. So if if you want, please, take the meat and throw away the bones. That's all I'm asking. But please don't ignore the whole message here. Okay, this is really important. So what I'm going to do is I've brought you back here because of the few videos that just, again, presented themselves to me. Like, I mean, literally, I didn't even go looking, like I say, and I'm tired of saying that, but it's true. I mean, this is all given. This is all given. Now, what I'm going to do here is just go through these clips, and I'm hoping and praying that you know where I'm going with this. Now, this is the prophecy against the South. And I read this out, I believe, in my last video. But I've continuously gone back to this and researched a little bit more into, or study into 46 and 47. And today I came across another video which, again, is very alarming, but yet good news at the same time, about the glittering that you are now seeing. So I'm just bringing you back here, and you can see, I hope that you can see what I see here, and this brings you right to Notre Dame. I was really surprised at this, and how severe and important to know when he says a tree, to understand this. So let me just read out the verse first here. And do I do that? No. I'm just going to play this and then we'll see what happens, okay? Like I said, I'm on a need-to-know basis, so I'm not 2 steps ahead. I'm only 1 step ahead.
Vampire type movies, the vampires always... I just decoded Lost Boys, and thinking back to other vampire type movies, the vampires always have these sunglasses, and they have this because of sensitivity to light, because they're vampires, right? So they sleep at night. During the day, they have to shield their eyes from the intense light. I think this also has something to do with all the death and murder and sin, and it's like almost as if they're blinded by the light, right? Well, I did some research on sunglasses because I had my suspicions, and to my shock and horror, it appears as though the first, basically, dissemination of the sunglasses to the general public as a common theme and as a trend started happening in the early 1920s. And it was all about movie stars. Yep, Hollywood were the origins of the mainstream spread of sunglasses. It is commonly believed that this was to avoid recognition by fans, but an alternative reason sometimes given is that they often had red eyes from the powerful arc lamps that were needed due to the extremely slow speed film stock used. This stereotype persisted long after improvements in film quality and the introduction of ultraviolet filters had eliminated this problem. Inexpensive mass-produced sunglasses made from celluloid were first produced by Sam Foster in 1929. Now this celluloid, this is a very important because this goes back to Tesla, who used cellophane in some of his experiments. We covered this when we were looking at the building that Tesla lived in before he died. He lived on the 33rd floor of this building, and it was basically a wonder of the world in reproduction of power. It was a power plant. It was one of the wonders of the world in terms of power plants. And people are telling me, oh, he wasn't there for any experiment. Of course he was. Okay? Electric wonder of the world? Of course he was there for a final experiment. And they would use the celluloid, cellophane, and they would basically sanitize bathrooms with ultraviolet rays. I mean, this was some crazy stuff going on back in those years. So this was going on while Tesla was there, of course, in the Wind of New Yorker. And they would sanitize these bathrooms with UV light, and then they would wrap the bathroom in cellophane. But according to this, Sam Foster in 1929 used celluloid to make sunglasses. Now it's interesting because the same celluloid that's used to make sunglasses is also used to make movie film. Yes, now you have a direct connection between sunglasses and the film industry. It's made out of celluloid, a durable though flammable plastic material, composed mainly of cellulose nitrate and camphor. Celluloid has been used in many experimental technologies, from the study of diffraction phenomenon to the development of cinematic film. Now here's what's interesting. This is all about light. Okay, this is all about the transmission of light waves through this celluloid. In 1885, Hannibal Lecter, right, Goodwin, developed celluloid film, which became so widely used in the motion picture industry that the films were known for many years as celluloids. That's what they used to call film. Instead of film, they called it celluloids.
Okay, so I know my reading's not all that great, so I'm asking for patience. So the ingredients to a celluloid, all right? Here, just real roughly, you're gonna, have to go through this yourself for better understanding here. But it's derived from tree sap. Okay, so this is mold. It was easy to mold, but it comes from tree sap. I'm really focusing in on when they're talking about the tree, what kind of tree that they're using, because you see, this all happened around concerning Notre Dame with the wood. Okay, it was what type of tree that they were using. I believe it was an oak tree. I'm not sure. But as we go along, and into the research here. So this was they would combine this with sugar molecules in the building block of the cell walls of the green plants. Okay, thanks to cellulose. All right. The most prevalent organic compound on Earth. Wood is strong. Okay. Again, we're dealing with the trees. So the Hayat jumped into a fray, experimenting with shellak, the risen from the female lac bug, which lives in the forests in Thailand and India, and pressed wood pulp. Again, we're looking into the forest. We're seeing, these bugs that they're using. The reason why I'm bringing this up, to make a long story short right now, because again, you can go through this, but it's about how they were making cufflinks and how they put this material, whatever it was, the combination with the bug, the sap from the plants, the trees. And what happened, it became alive basically, because these things, like when they were making cufflinks, these cufflinks would shake. Okay, they would move, they would vibrate in the buttonholes, and then it would produce sound, right? And you got to ask and shake yourself. This is what they did with the churches. This is what they put in with the churches, with the glass, their glass windows and stuff. Okay, hold on here. This is where all this energy build up. And it came from this here. Okay, so to go a little further, immediately investigate. Okay, first they set up a company to make a celluloid dental plates for false teeth as an alternative to rubber. Then they established the Cellulites Manufacturing Company, which moved from Alameda to Newark, New Jersey in 1872. Here the brothers devised machinery for mixing the ingredients, a new way of manipulating the material. Blow molding, a process for making hollow items from cellulite tubes, was an important hygiene development, leading to the mass production of millions of expensive toys and ornaments. Since it was a clear colorless, it left undyed. Celluloid could take on any tone. Tone. It can take on any tone, even mix or molded shape. Clever, okay, fashion, so it's artificial ivory, okay, blah, 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 blah. Again, this is for you to read. Okay, so they made hair combs, eyeglasses, frames, eyeglass frames, okay. Promoting the material's versatility, shape-shifting qualities, because many people inquired cellulite with, okay, so they were scared because of the gun powder that was put in there, some kind of gunpowder, cotton or something like that. Okay. So here, they wanted to do linen. The cellulite linens never completely replaced the true linen, particularly among the upper class who scorned such artificiality. They were moderately popular until shirt styles changed in the 1930s. Perfect, easy wear shirts remain more of a hope than a reality. Shirt fronts could pop or crack, stiff collar, edges shaft, cheeks and chins, and buttons rattled in the buttonhole of collars and cuffs. Okay, so it was rattling. Sound, okay? Tone. Manufacturing advice wearing to wrap a small piece. Okay, yeah, they were telling you to put, plastics to stop it from, the sound, okay? Leather or elastic band around the buttons, shank, to avoid this unwanted sound. Non-rattling. Okay, no wonder they're so expensive, is because of whatever this is, the spirit, what's in this. And then also, if you sweat and perspired, you would give off an odor. So you had sound, you had vibration, and you have odor.
So, alright, so it's more than just the architecture. I would say that's just the first clue. The next one is that a lot of these buildings have been repurposed as spiritual buildings, or what we call churches. I'm not sure if that's what they were originally intended for. A lot of these churches have, again, similar patterns. They have these organs that are built into the churches, and it's quite consistent. Like, the architect must have taken sound vibration into consideration when making these temples. There's this artist who studies 3D visual sounds in churches, and what she's found is that in these old churches, there's these